All stations, Mumbai control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you read? Give me your replies via Zoom chat reply. Individually, and students, do rename yourself on Zoom with respect to your call sign. Okay? You have your call signs assigned. You can rename. There are 3 dots. You could use that to rename yourself. If you cannot, just text me on Zoom chat your call sign. I'll rename you. Just follow my voice because it's a radio class. We try to focus on the voice first a little bit. And please confirm your readability and try to be accurate with respect to your script of the reply to this readability check. I'll say again the call. All stations, all stations. Mumbai ground 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you read?
Mumbai ground, Victor Tango Papa Hotel X-ray, DD5. How do you read?
Students, text me your readability scale, everyone. Break, break. Victor Tango Papa Hotel X-ray, Mumbai ground, read you 5. How do you read? Students who want me to rename their name, please give me your call sign also. So Karthik, please mention your call sign. Okay. All right. Okay, I think everybody else has their call sign assigned. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, students. I think almost everyone is in the country, so it's like late good afternoon and early good evening. Very happy to see everyone join live in class. It's been a long time since we have had so many students joining in live, and I know it's a long time coming. So good to see everyone. I have Used with another look. Used, nice to see you. I have Ujjwal. Ujjwal, you are the champion under test today. So I hope you're ready. We have Prakhar, Vishnupriya, and we have Karthik. Prerit is here. Prerit, so nice to see you join live. We have Aditya. Aditya, so nice to see you. We have Niharika. Nukul is here. Nukul, we were thinking about you in Tech Live. Neha is here. Neha, nice to see you live. Pankaj, I'm very surprised and happy to see you. And a very good response to the call. I think Aruhi is also here. Aruhi, very warm welcome. Very nice to see you attend soon. Shabish is there. Very nice. Couple of call signs I'm not able to recognize. I have Annie. Very nice to see you, Annie, join. And I think we have Trisha, right? At Victor Tango, Tango, Sierra, Sierra, if I'm not wrong. Okay, good. Yes. Yes, please. Students, you can feel free to talk. I'll just explain you what we are going to do. Remember to follow instructions carefully. Students who can keep their videos on, I don't mind. You can do it. Students with privacy issues can keep it off. But ensure you acknowledge and ensure you communicate. You can communicate through reactions and through Zoom chat messages. If you want to speak something or ask something, you'll raise your hand. I'll show you that reaction. It's called React, and I think they've given us a heart there. Okay. So we are dividing the segment in two parts. And for many of your students, it might be your first live session, or it might be a resumption of a live session after a long time. Okay. We have Suchita joining in. Suchita, very warm welcome. So I think everyone is here.
Okay.
Yeah, readability check students who's not given me a confirmation, please give it to me on Zoom chat. Once again, all stations, Mumbai ground. How do you read? Um, yeah, Suchita, rename yourself with your call sign. Okay, good. So we are dividing the session into parts. Ujjwal, turn off your video. Everyone, keep save your battery of your devices. Yeah. So the session is in two parts. Okay. First part would be a part two Viva. The second part is planned for a part one. The reason we are doing part two first, um, there's a reason for it. So you all just observe the first part and then second part. Okay. Your job as an observer would not be to be an assessor or an evaluator or an examiner. Your job is going to be to see from a student's perspective by keeping yourself in the shoe of the student and see whether you can answer these questions. And whatever feedback is discussed, you will listen to the feedback, keep your questions ready, anything that you have had from the past or from the session. And once towards the end of the practice mock being done, Ujjwal will be done, he might be leaving, and we'll be open for questions and discussions, all rest of the students. Okay. So towards the end, we'll get to talk and discuss within the scope of the time of the session left. You can always keep your questions parked in the Zoom chat box to keep it ready. As and when I take questions, I'll be helping you with the confusions. This, for most of you all, as an observer, has been the invitation. So, as an observer, your perspective should be to keep yourself in the shoe and see how it will perform, learn, unlearn, depending upon whatever your takeaway is. Okay? If you come across certain mistakes, make a note of it and discuss them as well. We have to understand that radio telephony is not difficult. We have to understand that we can study and clear. We have to understand that certain examiners require certain type of answers. If I reduce it down to the requirement that we need, then for part two, the requirements that we need to think of before giving answers would be that when it comes to standard words and phrases, when it comes to definitions, when it comes to principles of operations, we have to stick to keywords and we have to prepare our answers verbatim. For example, if in a part 2 Viva they say define height, then you cannot start with height in your own way, but you'll have to use keywords given in the definitions in one of the booklets. Height, vertical distance measured from a reference or something on those lines. So you have to understand what are these major definitions which could be asked. You don't have to mug up or memorize all definitions. The ones that could be asked are the ones that you know so far, or you will know within the scope of your training and learning of your whole CPL overall, not just radio telephony. Standard words and phrases, you have to give verbatim replies as we have seen in the course of our lectures, and it's also there in the manual. Definitions for urgency, distress, definitions for alerfa, distressfa, and so on should be verbatim. These are the things where you have to justify the discipline by showing that your keywords are correct, nothing else. Rest of the answers to questions can be given in a descriptive manner. The best technique is something, for some, it would be a reminder, for some, it would be a first time thing, which would be if a question is asked, acknowledge the question. Don't instantly start with the answer. Let the question revolve in your mind for about 3 to 5 seconds so that you can allow for more suggestions by your mind and structure the answer before you give it and fix any mistakes before you speak. Now, this I have seen some people not grasp. This I've seen some people not bother much about. This could be the only difference between accuracy of answers if everything else is correct. For someone who can give immediate answers without any mistakes, they might not have to do this. But in the first stage, to be careful to maintain accuracy, I suggest your part two technique to be this as the most important technique. We really can affect an examiner with the way we talk, and their judgment is final judgment whether it's validated or not. So, how do we stay secure in all areas and all aspects without leaving ourselves at the disposable of how they feel about it? So, this strategy of structuring your answers, explaining practical application of certain systems components, ideas, going to the core start and then to the advanced part of a particular system, explaining things in your own words by sticking true to keywords like principles, polar diagrams, errors, and frequencies, types of propagation, and so on, types of modulation also. So this sums up a common element for all systems. And when it's a regulation based question, it becomes pretty descriptive for us. We explain abbreviations, full form, and their importance and how it is associated with us in our journey to become a professional pilot. It is not difficult, it is easy. We might have had bad experiences or not. It should not change our quest to prove that I can do it, and we have to do it with confidence. So, whether you're nervous or not, follow the instructions and you'll see your performance will be at par, whether you're nervous or not. These are simple instructions for part two. The content for part two is although is limited, the syllabus, but it could expand based upon your personal experience. Your personal experience on the day or till the day of the exam. If they know you're from engineering, from aeronautical, from IIT or something, they might ask you a few questions which are somewhere related to aviation, but won't be asked to somebody who's just a fresher joining CPL. So the more you read, the lesser it becomes. So the idea is to master the main fundamental topics that we have seen because at least 5 out of 10, if not more, minimum would be asked from those fundamentals. So you have to bank upon those first. And then secondly, as much as you can read, keeping the way how to give answer correctly. Okay. Ujjwal, this is for you and for everyone else for part two. Okay. Are we clear? Do we have any questions? Let's get started. Nobody is going to judge anyone. Nobody is going to laugh or make comments. It is a big deal for somebody to perform in front of so many people. So many students don't even agree for this. They're like, say, you're making me more nervous. I don't want to do it. But if you can do it, it only enhances your ability of public speaking and your ability to go and face anything and everything out there. Okay. So that's the whole idea. Whether it works or not, you participate and you be with an open mind, and you'll see that little applications of these things. There is a reason I repeat because these are the strategies that really help us get there. Individually, your experiences, if you have given earlier attempts and we have not yet discussed, then be ready for it. After the session is done, let me know how ready you feel, when would you want to discuss, because from now on, we are going to have all of your sessions, especially on priority with the ones who are going to give Delhi And then next priority would be the ones who would be giving October attempt and so on. Okay. If you think you need practice session sooner, you let me know about it and I'll see how can I schedule it for you. Once we get dates and results and everything, I'll make a schedule, but it becomes very difficult to follow the schedule. And sometimes that becomes the only deciding factor between a child not clearing the exam because somewhere or the other we were not completely prepared. But now we bank upon that 80, 90, or 70% preparation that we already had. And now we just think about covering the rest of 20, 30, 10%. So I want you all to have this mindset so that you don't stress out. Students who have just done core lectures and waiting for their first sessions, for you, everything is going to be first time. Individually, however you feel, you will let me know about the same. Okay? All right. It would be great to see your observations also when we talk about part 2. So let's see how it goes. Generally, before you go to part 2, you would have given part 1. And after giving part 1, you will be waiting for your results in the waiting room. And once all the students during that morning or afternoon batch are done giving exams, one of the instructors would come along with a list of students, their names, who would be set to clear part 1 and would be eligible to give part 2. And that's where you will be in sequence. And that's where you will be called out one by one. So everyone simulating these experiences in live class, I want you all to imagine this happening. Okay? Imagine this happening when you are called in the Viva room, knock. If it's open, push, request permission to enter the room. Greet all examiners 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Ask permission to have a seat. Be nice, not too overconfident, not too underconfident. That's it. May I have a seat? Yes. And then sit, look at them, be comfortable. Doesn't matter how nervous you are internally. This is a part of your performance. So you stick to that. What is it? To act in a specified manner, irrespective of how you feel. Okay. Ujjwal, any questions?
Negative, sir.
Are you uncomfortable?
Negative, sir.
Hmm. So ideally, we do one mock once your core lectures are done, which is a practice mock. And based upon our feedback, we do a final mock. Ideally, 2 mocks are enough. Some students saying said, give me 15, 20 marks. Anybody can clear exam doing that, to be honest. I think so. But that is not within the scope of training. We do it this way, how it's designed. And if we do it efficiently, it's more than enough. If it is not, and if we still have time, then we think about another one. Okay. So this is how you have to understand the strategy is and follow instructions first and see if you can pull it off. Because whoever pulls it off like this on their own merit. Okay. All right. So let's imagine Ujjwal is in the waiting room and I'm calling out and I'm the examiner. Let's start. So Ujjwal, please come for your part 2 Viva.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
May I have a seat?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, Ujjwal, what can you tell about what is the full form of RTRA?
So RTRA stands for Radio Telephony Restricted Aeronautical.
Mm-hmm.
It gets its name because it restricts the person who holds the license to only use the frequencies regarding the civil aviation. The person cannot use maritime frequencies, and it is issued by the Wireless Planning and Coordination Wing.
Okay. What do you mean by iCAO location indicator?
So echolocation indicators are basically four-letter codes for identifying the aerodromes. We can understand about them from the ICAO doc 79010. The four-letter codes are consist about the first about the AFSRA regions. The world has 22 AFSRA regions. Then the second letter tells about the FIA region of a particular ICAO member state. And the last two tells about a particular aerodrome. Maybe it's very similar to a VOR reference, or it could be something which particularly the ICAO decides for them.
Okay. Have you seen an iCAO flight plan?
Affirm, sir.
Can you describe?
So ICAO flight plan has different pointers, which tells about different things like aircraft identification number, the type of flight rules followed, the type of flight, whether it is a standard flight or a non-standard flight, whether the rules are IFR or VFR. It contains information about the departure aerodrome, the destination aerodrome, and also the alternate aerodromes. It tells about the estimated time of departure. It tells about the routes which will be followed.
Mm-hmm. What is item number 1 1 in iCAO flight plan?
Um, Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall it at the current moment.
Okay. What about item 1 3?
Yes, sir.
Item
The
1
item
3?
1 3, so the item 1 3 contains two information. One is about the departure aerodrome, which has four boxes, and one is about the time, which has also four boxes.
We cannot look at answers. Are you looking at the book and giving answer?
Negative, sir.
Okay. Say again, what is item 1 3?
The item 1 3 has two informations. The first one about the departure aerodrome. It has four white boxes, and second is about the time, which also has four boxes.
Okay. In which item number do you mention your total estimated elapsed time?
As far as I remember, it's uh,
Mm-hmm.
item 1 5.
Okay. All right. What do you mean by DTRASFA?
So DTRESFA is an abbreviation for distress phase. It is a phase issued by the ATC when there is a long gap in communication with the pilot. And in such situations, all the aircraft in the immediate vicinity of the aerodrome are given instruction to stand by or wait for any further clearances. And all the ATCs try to contact the other aircraft to know their situation, like what kind of problem they could be facing.
Okay. Are you sure about the answer? Is there any specific definition? Okay, what do you understand by ITU?
So, out of this, several specialized agencies working under United Nations for aviation, ITU is one of them. It is an abbreviation for International Telecommunication Union. It is one of the oldest international organization. Uh, ITU allocates all the global radio frequency spectrum and satellites, and basically tries to establish all kind of telecommunication that all the world is connected through telecommunication network
Okay,
properly.
that's fine. Have you seen any of iCAO annexures or docs?
Affirm, sir. Basically, Annexure 10 and Annexure 15.
What do you mean by Annex 1.5?
Annexure 1.5 is about aeronautical information services. It contains different informations about regarding aeronautical information publications, its amendments, its supplements, about NOTAMs, pre-flight bulletins, aeronautical information
Is
circulars.
there a annexure related to radio telephony?
Uh, yes, sir. The Annexure 10, which is about aeronautical telecommunication, it has 5 volumes, and the and in the in the first in the second volume, correction, the third volume mentions about radio communication uh, systems.
Okay. What is the function of DGCA?
So DGCA is an abbreviation for Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Uh, the main function of it is it is a regulatory body who specifically functions regarding the safety issues. What are safety practices, airworthiness standards, and should be followed for safe conduction of a flight.
What rule under DGCA specifies the importance of RT license? Okay. All right. What do you mean by modulation?
So modulation is the process which of superimposing a audio frequency or a modulating frequency over a high energy, high frequency carrier wave in order to transmit it, because they don't have such higher energy, so that they can reach to a longer extent. And the purpose of modulation was is to reduce the size of producing bigger antennas.
What are the types of modulation?
The different type of modulations are keyed modulation, amplitude modulation, frequency modulation. In keyed modulation, there is a alternate turning on and off of uh, turning off, which has dots and dashes as the representations. Certain NDBs and also the ILS marker beacons uses these as Morse code signals, and that. But then for amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the audio frequency modifies the amplitude of the carrier wave,
It's
and
okay.
it has.
What do you mean by polarization?
So the orientation of the electrical field component of the electromagnetic wave means polarization, and it is most effective to have a vertically polarized wave, because vertically polarized wave have experiences less attenuation in comparison to horizontally polarized wave, because they are less exposed
What
to
is
the surface.
attenuation?
Attenuation is the loss of signal strength over a distance as the wave travels.
What are the ways in which radio waves propagate?
So different frequency band waves have different modes of radio wave propagation. The certain different type of propagations are like skywave propagation, which is like an ionospheric propagation. One is surface wave propagation. One is direct wave or line of sight wave propagation.
So, which type of propagation is widely used in aviation? Which
So
type of
widely,
propagation is used in aviation and in radio telephony?
widely used is line of sight wave for VHF communications,
That's it.
and sky waves also for radio or for HF communications.
What kind of modulation do we use in VHF communications?
So VHF communications can have both kind of modulations, amplitude and frequency modulated. Amplitude modulations come with single.
No, what kind of modulation do we use in VHF communication? There is only one.
I think it's amplitude modulation.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why we use amplitude modulation over frequency modulation?
Amplitude modulation gives us the feature of having a single sideband.
Uh-huh. Explain, carry on.
For single sideband, and single sideband has the feature like it reduces the power consumption, which makes the equipment very lighter on board. Uh, and single sideband allows us to have multiple channels,
Those are
or
not
more
the
number of
reasons.
channels.
Those are not the reasons. What are the characteristics of a frequency modulation? Any characteristics? Okay. What is the frequency band used in radio navigation systems?
So different radio navigation system have different frequency bands. Uh, for example, VOR, very high frequency omnidirectional range, uses the frequency band from 108 megahertz to 117 decimal 905 megahertz. Then ILS is instrument landing system composes three particular systems of ILS localizer, glide path indicator, and marker beacons. Localizer have a VHF frequency band of 108 megahertz to 111 decimal 975 megahertz.
What
The
about the principle used in VOR?
So VOR works on the principle of phase comparison or phase difference. A VOR produces two waves. One is the reference signal. One is the varying signal. The reference signal produces a signal of a constant phase, and it is kept in comparison with the varying signal, which
What is
produces.
the airborne equipment used in VOR? Have you ever seen a cockpit?
Yes, so through images.
Okay. Why are you doing RT?
So the purpose to do RT is to know standard communication procedures which are to be followed while communicating, so that uh, there's no certain confusion about confusion
But what is your
or
personal reason to get RT?
so the personal reason to get RT is to move forward after getting the commercial pilot license, uh, to to fly for an airline, to fulfill that requirement, to be eligible to be applying for an airline.
Do you know how to find range for VHF signal?
Yeah, affirm, sir.
How?
So to find the range of VHF signal, we use a particular formula, which is 1.23 into the multiplication of summation of square root of the height of the transmitter antenna and the receiver's antenna.
How about range of ADF signals? Do you know what is the
So
ADF?
yes, sir. ADF is an abbreviation for automatic direction finder. It uses low frequency and medium frequency waves. It works on the principle of uh,
I want to
principle
know
that
the range.
yeah. So over the sea, it has a range 3 into square root of power, uh, no, not nautical miles, and over land it is 2 into square root of power nautical miles.
Power in the formula, is it what? Horsepower, torque, watts, kilowatts?
It's watts.
Then why you're not saying that in your answer?
Yes.
What do you mean by mode A or mode Charlie? Mode alpha or mode Charlie?
So Mode A and Mode Charlie are secondary surveillance radar codes. These are basically transponder codes. Mode A was very earlier used to, which only gives about the information about the altitude of the aircraft. And Mode Charlie is like the most modernized version of the transponder, which gives information about the altitude, flight level, aircraft identification.
Are you sure mode A gives you altitude?
Correction. It gives about bearing. It gives
Bearing.
about bearing.
Bearing. Mhm. Okay. What is uh what is the SKOC code used in transponders? How many digits? And if you know any examples.
Uh, Swap code. It is 4-digit number.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
What
pronounced
if you
using
have radio communication failure? Do you know what's the SKOC code for that?
negative. So I don't.
So you're doing RT and you don't know what will you do if you have radio communication failure. Okay, you can go. Thank you.
It's,
Okay. Ujjwal, text me your max availability. Just text me and we will be starting with part 1 mock. Everybody will think that we are in the exam waiting room, including Ujjwal. The moment I share the question paper, please access your own charts. I might share a chart on the screen, I might not. And take a screenshot of the question paper so that you'll have it for practice. Certain students, if you see you have solved a similar question paper earlier, don't let that affect your experience of learning right now. Okay. And yeah, please write the whole log. Whatever student giving the mock is doing and whatever the examiner is doing, at the same time, think about what would your call be and make points. If I ask, share your logs from the session, I should be able to check out the performance based upon your logs. That's the importance of logs, to log everything spoken the way it is. Left side, pilot transmission, right side, ATC. Remember that, do not be lazy, okay? This way you'll also get to practice listening and writing in the same way. All right, students, can I get an acknowledgement through reactions? Is everybody following? Only 5 students. Okay, wake up, wake up. Once the mock session is over, I'm expecting a lot of verbal interaction. So please, if you can turn your videos on, do so. I could see you. We could talk, go on unmute, have proper discussions. You don't just have to be quiet and not talk and leave the session. Okay. So be ready and don't make me beg for you all to talk and acknowledge. Right? That is just waste of time. Okay. No water, no break, no nothing. Let's feel the pressure that we feel on the day of exam. Part one will be blind completely. Expect will perceive that I'm seated behind you, behind the student. So you cannot really see, you can just hear. So we all will be blind there. So just wait. I'll call out the name. I'll publish the paper on screen, and that's where the time will start. Okay, Ujjwal, please come to the exam room along with so many students. And the moment you get the question paper is the moment we will start your timer. Students, you will not be able to look at the time, so please don't worry about that. You just focus on your training. Ujjwal, you'll also go blind when you get the question paper. You can start transmitting.
Mission 1 Alpha. Mumbai ground. I fly Niner 2-1. Stand 2 on 1-1 decimal niner. Pre-flight radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you read?
Victor Tango, correction. I fly 921, Mumbai ground. Read you one, say again all.
Read you 1. Wilco. I say again. Pre-flight radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you read?
I fly 921, Mumbai ground. Read you 5. How do you read?
Read you 5. Strength 5. I fly niner to 1.
Roger, Mumbai ground.
Mumbai radio. I fly niner 1. Stand to on secondary. Pre-flight cell call check. Check cell call. Alpha Charlie Foxtrot Hotel.
I fly 921. Mumbai radio. Checking cell call. Alpha Charlie Foxtrot Hotel.
Cell call. Okay. Changing to primary. Standby. I fly 921.
Go to next question.
Question 1. Bravo. Mumbai ground. I fly 921. Stand to IFR Mumbai to VOR November Papa flight level 350. Thereafter November Papa to Bhubaneswar flight level 130. Airbus 321 heavy. Passengers on board 200. Information Bravo. Security check cleared. Request startup on priority due VVIP on board.
I fly 921. Mumbai ground. Startup not approved.
Startup not approved. Report reason. I fly 921.
I fly 921. Mumbai ground. Flight level 350 unavailable.
Flight level 350 unavailable. IFR Mumbai to VOR November Papa flight level 390. Thereafter November Papa to Bhubaneswar flight level 130. Airbus 321 Heavy. Passengers on board 200. Information Bravo. Security check cleared. Request startup on priority. Due VVIP on board.
Go to next question.
Question 2 Alpha. Mumbai Tower. I fly Niner to 1. Holding short runway 27 on taxiway Charlie. Request ATC clearance.
I fly 921 Mumbai Tower. After departure from runway 23, climb to flight level 50, turn left for radial 180, climb flight level 150, report reaching.
Negative. I say again. On taxiway Charlie. Holding short runway 27. Request ATC clearance. I fly Niner to 1.
Go to next question.
Question 2, Bravo. Mumbai Tower. I fly Niner to 1. On takeoff leg. Runway heading runway 27. Passing flight level 20 for flight level 40. See a flock of birds turning left by 15 degrees to avoid bird collision.
Go to next question.
Question 3. Nagpur control. I fly Niner to 1. Flight level 390. Golf 450. Radial 252. 70 DME. Inbound VOR November Papa. Aircraft enable RVSM due equipment. Request descend to flight level 270.
I fly 9 into 1. Nagpur control. Flight level 270 unavailable. Descend to flight level 250. 50 DME inbound Nagpur or more. Report reaching. Kindly expedite.
Flight level 270 unavailable. Descend to flight level 250. 50 DME inbound Nagpur or more. expediting Wilco, iFly 921.
Roger, Nagpur Control.
Nagpur Control, iFly 921, flight level 250, Golf 450, radial 252, 60 DME, inbound November, Papa, estimating November, Papa, 1030.
Go to next question.
Question 4. Mumbai radio, copy Kolkata radio, iFly 921, FIR report, iFly 921, flight level 130, present time 1050, delay in reaching 10 minutes, estimating Bhubaneswar 1115, changing to Kolkata radio.
Go to next question.
Question 5.1. I say again.
Next.
Question 2 of question 5. Terminal movement area.
Next.
Question 5 part 3. Alert phase.
Next.
Question 5 part 4. Aircraft classification number should not be more than pavement classification number.
Next.
Question 5 part 5. Victor Tango
Okay,
Yankee.
time's up. Submit your paper.
Roger.
Okay. All right, students. Feel free to go on unmute. Just respect if someone is talking first, let them talk. So, how do you feel? Everyone, what's happening? How many of y'all are multitasking, sleeping, doing other work, traveling? I'm not sure. But to those who have clearly attended and focused at my level or student giving the exam level, I would be excited to know your observations. I'd be interested to see your observations with respect to how you would approach, how you would feel if you were giving the same, going through the same on the day of your exam. Anybody has anything to share, ask, raise your hands. I can allow you to speak one by one, or you can simply start speaking if nobody else is speaking. Ujjwal, I'll take your feedback once you share the notes with me, log with me. You can text me your experience on Zoom chat as well. But talk, acknowledge, don't be quiet.
Good evening, sir. Mr. Tango
Very good evening,
Dampati, sir.
Nicole.
Yes, sir. I am very happy that I am aware of the all the question answer regarding to part one and part two also. Some minor confusion that can you spell for me that this respa is the second word for distress? I'm not aware of that.
Detresfa. It is detresfa. 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 It's not distressfa, it is detresfa. This is one of the most obvious of things that generally students are not aware or tend to take it a little for granted. Good question.
Affirm, sir.
Detresfa. A question for the class. First come, first serve, raise your hands. What's the name of the iCAO doc for abbreviations?
8400.
Usaid, give me your answer. Prerit, Usaid, and Om, give me your answers.
Sir, it's 8400.
So Doc 8400.
Very good.
Docket 400.
Very good. So now we have a question, right? We have a question that says, okay, how do we spell Detrasfa? Obviously, there's a confusion. Where do we check it? Students, feel free to keep your cameras on. अकेला उज्जवल बैठा अजीब लग रहा है ना? अजीब कुछ नहीं लग रहा, I'm just motivating. आजकल तो कोई एक बच्चा भी वीडियो पे आता है, मैं शर्मा जाता हूँ, तो ये कुछ अलग हो रहा है, आप भी बंद हो जाओ, वो आदत चली गई ना. So, how do we figure out on our own a question like this? We have these series of documents that we are required to go through. Sushita, very nice. You said it correctly. Om, Usaid, Prerit, good job. Book 6, 8400. It was not easy to access these actual docs and annexures, students. Procedure for air navigation services is what your PANS is. PANS Ops. PANS. Okay. This is by far the latest version. Don't think it's outdated. Okay. We want to look for the Tresfa. First thing we check in abbreviations. Now in question number 5, if you have alerfa or detrasfa, there are two ways to answer it. One is to give meaning of abbreviation. Second could be to give the entire definition. So you all have to remember these definitions, students. So abbreviation you'll find in D, most probably. Let's see. Here it is. Detrasfa. We have the spelling as well as the full form of the abbreviation that detrasfa is. It is distress phase. Please also give definition in question number 5 if this question comes, to assure that you get those 20 marks on question number 5 for sure. Double assurance, we can say. They have this mark, the star mark on detrasfa. What does it mean? When radio telephony is used, the abbreviations of turn are transmitted as spoken words. So when you are writing ACN, when you are writing TMA, when you are writing alerfa, you speak the full form, but you still write the abbreviation. Okay, so that you can quickly finish that log. उज्जवल मैं विश कर रहा था आप क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 फास्ट बोलो और आप तो इतना रिलैक्स हो गए, आप तो एकदम आराम से बोल रहे हैं. आई एम लाइक जस्ट आई कुड सी द टाइम राइट, सो लाइक थोड़ा फास्ट हो जाए, थोड़ा फास्ट हो जाए. आई डिडंट वांट टू गिव यू एनी हिंट and you got more slow there, but good job on finishing on time. Just 5 marks, so you have to score out of 95. So this is the spelling of detrasfa. Nukul, any doubts? Now second thing is to know what is the definition of detrasfa. So what do we say? Please find the correct definitions, and everybody will have to send me towards the end of day today the definition of alerfa and detrasfa. Find it and share it with me. It's for everyone in class right now. Everyone will do it, okay? Any more questions? Sarah, Mike, please go ahead.
Recent edition for this talk 8400 is the 9th edition. So that came in 2016. So I just wanted to know if that document will have more abbreviations from what we have.
Very
Amendments to
good.
the same.
Very good.
Because I cannot find certain abbreviations in this particular document that we have for now, like for go around and missed approach.
Okay. Students, does anybody have access to what Suchita is saying? The version of the document 8400. 2016 version. No one. It's fine. Okay, we'll look into it. We'll try to access it. What else? Questions? Anyone? No questions, students?
Sir, I had one more question
Mm-hmm.
that you asked Victor Tango Sierra Kilo, that why amplitude modulation over frequency modulation for the VHF and HF bands. I cannot exactly give the reason for the same. So if you could discuss a little more on the same.
Students, anybody knows the answer to this question? Why do we prefer AM or why do we prefer FM? Raise your hand, students, if anybody. No one? Now, we all have access to this. We all have access to book 12, part 2, Viva book 1. Page number 26. We use amplitude modulation because for the same transmission power, range is lesser than frequency modulation. And for the same power, if we do amplitude modulation, we get a higher range compared to frequency modulation for the same power source for the transmitter. What kind of modulation is used in VHF comms? AM. What are the characteristics of frequency modulation? The receiver is complicated, but transmitter is simpler. It is free from static and noise interferences. So there we have the answers to these questions. Good question, Suchita. Students, feel free to ask whatever you have in mind. Prakhar, good job. Prakhar has given me the answer. For the same transmitter power, range is more in AM, amplitude modulation. So, good. There are also information based upon what kind of polarization is used in which kind of transmission for which kind of system. And generally, these are there in the first few paragraphs of any textbooks, if it is mentioned in the proper textbook for navigation and so on. What else? Do we have more questions? Think about it. Ujjwal, how was the experience? Everyone share your feedback on the session. Please mention in your Zoom chat. मुंह से तो कोई नहीं बोल रहा है. What is your takeaway? How do you feel? Everyone.
I'm not happy.
Who's saying not happy? Ujjwal, आप बोल रहे हैं?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why not happy? Is everything okay in life?
Reason because as I already told you that some other phase is also going on in college, and in between giving answer there were constant messages to भाई join कर ले, Microsoft का session है छूट जाएगा. मेरा actually मैं session मेरा छूट गया बीच का. Actually उन्होंने मुझे join ही करने नहीं दिया. तो constant message आना start हो गए mail पे, तो very much distracting even while giving call and even while giving part 1 part 2 also. So बार बार ध्यान यहाँ ध्यान यहाँ वहाँ हो रहा था.
बट मैं आपको पूछा फ्री हो कि नहीं. 5:30 तक का टाइम था, आप चले जाते. यू हैड द लिबर्टी टू डू सो.
मैंने ट्राई किया कि मैं बस ज्वाइन करके छोड़ दूं, क्योंकि मुझे कोई रिप्लाई नहीं करना होता. उन्होंने मुझे एंटर ही नहीं करने दिया. तो व्हाट कैन आई डू?
Okay. I mean, come on, students, you have flexibility. You don't have to go through such losses. I would never want you all to go through the losses with what you are doing in life. I'm always there to adjust, यार. ऐसा मत करो आप. I appreciate your dedication. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. I mean, you can go anytime. Like, चले जाते पहले ही. जितना होता उतना कर लेते. बाद में तो आपको फीडबैक बाद में भी दे सकता हूँ ना. No worries. Okay. एक मैसेज नहीं आया मुझे फीडबैक का. Very disappointing in a group session. You're just discouraging me to gather y'all in a group. Then don't tell me why live sessions are not happening. And this goes to everyone who's not talking, not acknowledging, and not texting. सारे ऑप्शंस ओपन है आपके लिए, फिर भी आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हो. टाइम हो रहा है वेस्ट. 6 बज गए हैं. उससे ज़्यादा टाइम मिलना भी नहीं है. ठीक है. इट्स ऑल ऑन यू देन स्टूडेंट्स. आई एम सीरियस अबाउट इट.
I have one feedback also, like last mock comparison.
Tell me.
Like I felt good that the points which you gave, like to not say priority startup and say startup on priority, I was able to implement that even though some kind of disturbance was going on in the side on the screen. And I myself got to know one mistake, although I'm sure I must have done a few more because of maybe because of disturbance or maybe due to anything else. One thing I noticed in question number 1 alpha only, while giving the readback for the second part, I missing my call sign. I clearly understood at that point, like, okay, shit, again, that kind of mistake is there. But and I was also happy that I remembered mentioning FIR report for that. Last time when I was giving, I didn't mention FIR report and I didn't mention my call sign even in that call. So I guess, yeah, I would take that. Okay, I was able to remember even bit of disturbance was there.
Okay. Aruhi, you have a question, please ask.
No, it was just a feedback. I really enjoyed the session. I thought it was very insightful. I think it would be really helpful if we also get to know how he did to like really understand like how the his paper went.
Agreed. Prerit, how are you feeling? नुकुल ने तो बताया है, ओम ने मैसेज कर दिया है. Trisha, Meet, Shabrish have given me a feedback. Niharika has given me a feedback. Prakhar and Om have given me a feedback. तो हम लोग 19 स्टूडेंट्स हैं. उनमें से ऑफ कोर्स उज्जवल ने दिया है एंड आरोही ने दिया है एंड आरुषि ने दिया है एंड आई थिंक सुचिता इज इन्वॉल्व्ड. दैट्स इट. सो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So half class is interested, half is not interested, is what I'm making sense out of it. Okay, Neha, nice to see your feedback. Vishnu Priya, okay, I was not expecting you to find things new, but I was hoping that it would just trigger you and trigger the memory. So that's what I'm hoping that will happen if you keep attending sessions or revisions. Okay, Shabrish, we'll practice for you more and more. Don't worry. Very good. Any more questions? Pankaj? Meet, it's your first time observation. You are there next in queue for your first practice mock.
Yeah, just one
Archie,
thing.
you're there. Yes, Pankaj?
Yeah, just one thing. So the aircraft identification, it was something I6I or something else, but he was saying something else. The first two characters in the aircraft identification. So what was he saying actually?
I mean, meaning to say the aircraft model or aircraft call sign?
Call sign, call sign.
So 6E is the code for Indigo, and
Yes.
Indigo radio call sign is iFly.
Can
So
we
he
not
was
say
saying,
6 echo?
because that's not the radio call sign. We cannot say that. Like VT for our aircraft registration marking, VT is a nationality radio call sign, Victor Tango. We cannot. Students who don't know the radio call signs for all airline codes, do let me know. I'll share a list with you all. We cannot say 6 echo. We have to say the radio call sign. We have to say iFly. In the worst scenario, somebody might say, give me call sign for Indigo. I know it's Indigo, but I'm unable to recall. And then take it from them and then use iFly. But you have to use iFly. It's like that. In reality, I'm saying, in reality, you cannot stay with confusion. So somebody will help you. And obviously, pilots would know their call sign of their airline. But yeah, we have to stick to the call signs only. Good question, Pankaj. I like the intensity and confidence, Pankaj. Nice to hear you. What else, students? Think, share. We are looking for certain abbreviations. One of them is go around. Interesting question. Sushita, if you have a list of such things which you don't know, abbreviations for, send it to me. Okay. What else? Karthik, your first session, you're on the verge of finishing part 1 core lectures. Priyanka, good reminder for you. You're not responding. Very warm welcome. You joined in a little late, but you didn't miss much. I think you missed just the part 2 Viva, maybe partially. Aditya, you're not saying anything. Meet, share some, speak something. Annie, what are you thinking? Tisha, you have some way to go ahead, but so far so good. Happy to see you join. What's happening, students? Okay. Tell me, Ujjwal.
Yes, sir. So adding on to that point of like correctly saying the aircraft code name, I guess it's getting too important because some of my friends who recently gave Chennai attempt, they got the question paper with the code QP, Quebec Papa, and they were expected to say Akasa Air, and they said that the ATC was not responding when they were giving their answer. So I guess it's important to like know every particular airline which is flying currently.
Hmm.
They were not responding only. Like they said Quebec Papa something, some number, and they said no, they got no response.
Yeah, you'll get two type of examiners. Either if you call the wrong ATC, they'll just not respond because they'll be simulating RCF because you're calling the wrong ATC. Or other examiners, if they're in a good mood or something, then they'll say that station calling so and so, call the right ATC, like this. So they'll give you a hint that you're calling the wrong ATC, but that could happen once in 10 situations. So if you don't get response, then always check the ATC you're calling. It's very important. Check the call signs you're using. It's very important. Don't say the wrong thing. Verify by looking at the chart. If need be, ask them for help or hints. What else can you do? So if you don't mind, can you just tell me the radio call sign for this? It would be really great. I would really be thankful to you. Try to fight for yourself there, students. Instead of just being there and, stuck in a bad situation, try to be nicely, happily, and in a very modest way to take help from them. You never know, they might be like, अरे अच्छा बच्चा है बता देते हैं देखते हैं आगे क्या करती है या करता है and आगे if your performance is good they might cut -5 -10 but still you might clear. At least you'll not be stuck because of one confusion there. I want you all to have this kind of confidence. Not too over, not too low, but directed in the direction that you will very, what is the word? You will try to push for your own success, even if you think you're wrong or mistaken in a few paces. You'll be like, ऐसा जाने दो ना क्या हो गया, but you won't use those words. So if you don't mind, could you just, allow me or ask me something else or give me this information like this. Diplomacy is what I'm trying to use the word. But here we won't say diplomacy, but a sort of technique as a backup plan in case even after studying and practicing and doing everything, something is not going in our favor, then this becomes a backup plan. You can always try. You can always try. If nothing works and you're like, oh, I didn't clear, then you come out happy thinking, oh, I tried. I know I made mistake. It's fine. Next attempt, definitely I'm going to clear. Simple. Meet, please tell me what are you thinking?
Sir, out of the 5 questions given in part 1, say we don't know how to go about one of them. So what are we supposed to do in that case?
You use the technique of basic call structure. What you might not know is the intent of that particular question. Still attempt it, follow the basic call structure. If you follow it, you'll get anywhere between 50 to 75%, even though you don't know the meaning of the intent. Still, you can easily score 50 to 60 to 70 by following the structure, making a call, using the correct radio words, standard words, phrases, and rules of numbers and readback and everything. Try. You cannot skip and you cannot be blank. And you cannot ask the examiner to skip the question because it's a big no-no. We cannot argue with them for a big no-no. So it's an exam where by default you can easily score 50%, which is passing. You just need to have that confidence and understanding that it's an open-ended question, although there is a type of answer that you could give to a particular question, but different pilots would react in different ways. Otherwise, we would have had to memorize thousands of conversation scripts. That would have been our RT training. Just like there are checklists, but we don't memorize checklists also. Ideally, we don't. We go through the checklist. So yeah, if you don't know something, still attempt that and stick to whatever things you can say correctly. And you'll see that you will get at least 50% on that particular question. If it's for 20, then minimum you'll get 10. And if you're good with not making any mistakes, that is with respect to words and phrases, then easily 60 to 70% you'll score, even though if you don't know what the intent is. Like I say this thing a lot of times to students, but it just doesn't register at times, I think, because students think it's too abstract for them to get results, but it really works.
Roger.
The only reason that you'll not understand a question if you come across an abbreviation that you don't know, or a word that you don't know, or if you don't understand what the question is asking you to do. But the question will give you certain positional reference, which will allow you to choose the right ATC. You know your call sign, you can give position elements. At least you can do that. Okay, students. Okay, Neha, nice. Priyanka, nice. Meet. How often are we going to have these mock sessions? Depends. Depends on demand, request, need. All three things. I'm open to all three things.
Um, just one more question, if I can.
Go ahead, Pankaj.
Yeah. So the destination was, according to the question, VEBS. Okay. So I mean, I could see that that's Bhubaneswar, but nowhere it is written. I mean, the VOR is BBS. So how did the answerer came to know that BBS stands for VEBS? What was his approach like? I mean, I would want to understand that.
I'm not sure, Pankaj, if I understand the question. Bhubaneswar VOR you're talking about. So how to connect the VOR code with the destination code? Is
Yes.
that the question?
Yes. Was it memorized by him beforehand?
It's
Or-
there on the chart. It's mentioned on the chart. I'll show you. You don't have to memorize things in RT other than the things that I opened the class with. Certain things that will require us to give verbatim answers, those we have to give. So those are definitions and abbreviations and words and phrases and their meanings. And principles should have keywords. Okay. So, okay, sorry, wrong screen shared. Carefully look at it. So we have a question. How do we know what is the VOR code for Bhubaneswar when we only have a location designator? So where is Bhubaneswar? We see Bhubaneswar is here, and we see this three-letter code is towards Bhubaneswar VOR. So Bravo Bravo Sierra. That's it. Are we able to see the screen, students? Pankaj, दिख रहा है आपको?
Yes, yes. I can see BBS, but how are we mapping BBS with VEBS? Like we.
Because, okay, wait. Because this is Bhubaneswar. When you are denoting a airport with respect to departure, alternate, or destination, then you have to use location indicators. And when you are only going to use a VOR station available at the airport for navigation, which means you're not going to land there, then you talk about them or give reference to them with respect to VOR codes. Every aerodrome, every major aerodrome will have a VOR. The VOR will have a code. The aerodrome will have a different code. That's why the understanding of flight plan is very important, students. Because in flight plan, in the route, we write VOR codes. But in departure destination alternate, we write location indicators. Everything is given on the chart. Bhubaneswar has control, so it becomes a major airport.
I mean, the only mapping is, I mean, we have a TMA VEBS written towards the boundary of it. Control boundary, we have VEBS written. So that is the map I can think about, right?
Yeah, that is one of the things. That is one of the things. आपके फ्लाइट प्लान में भी दिया है VBS. VEBS, VEE, Kolkata FIR, BS, we look at the chart, we look for VOR codes, we look for name of the places, we try to resonate. Is the technique that we have learned to guess how to track on the chart, looking at the flight plan, even if we don't know what the location indicator is about. But
So,
yeah, TMA is mentioned. So Bhubaneswar TMA, we check which VOR, which airport has ACC, and that becomes the TMA place. That is also true. There are multiple ways to figure it out, not just one.
so the answerer knew that VEBS, BS stands for Bhubaneswar. He already knew that, right? I think that is how he will be able to point to the actual uh, POR.
Dekho, you look at the flight plan. You look at the flight plan. Look at the departure. Do you know the departure? If no, then look at destination. Do you know the destination? No, then you look at the route. Connect the route. One extreme of the route will be your departure that you will be able to figure out, and one end of the route will be your destination, which will be to figure out. This is another technique if you don't know
Okay.
the abbreviations. But these are obvious stations basically, like VEBS there, VEBS here, Bhubaneswar is written on the chart in words. It is so obvious, there's nothing to think there. We have to just track the route to ensure we are aware of the route and all the stations and all the control boundaries in between. It's not a cryptic thing basically. It's more of for our own understanding so that we know how we are flying. This is a easy flight plan with respect to that. So first look at the flight plan and the route. VA, VE, A will be in Mumbai FIR, E will be in Kolkata FIR. These are the hints we are getting. And then we just look for instructions on the chart. One thing I want to share with you all students. Pankaj, keep discussing, okay? Clarify your doubt.
No, but we need to remember what BS stands for and what BB stands for, right? We need to have that in our memory.
It's good if you can do that. It's not a compulsion though, but eventually you get there. Students, you have this booklet. I have moderated the entire booklet. Okay, अपने हाथ से बनाया आप लोगों के लिए ये वाला. So I have given you all. Arushi was also asking me the other day. I like go through it at least twice. Scan it to understand. Okay, everything, nice pictures. VI, what are the major aerodromes and what are their names? Simple. You don't have to look at the ITA codes, only ICAP codes, which are the location designators. So आपकी क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती VEBS क्या है? कहाँ ढूंढते हैं आप? चार्ट नंबर भी आपको दिया है फ्लाइट प्लान पे. चार्ट नंबर 4 है. So what would confuse you to not come to Bhubaneswar, Pankaj? Think from that perspective. Ujjwal, you want to say something? Please share now. Go ahead.
So I wanted to say that I was not having the knowledge like where V base like is for Bhubaneswar. Like you mentioned, the what the route was mentioned. I was also seeing the flight plan and I was seeing the path over here only. And regarding VBS, I guess VE, like whenever I see E, like I saw the word E, so I was very sure that okay, I have to see only in this region of Kolkata FIR. And as I know from the rules of ICAO location designator, the last two words generally resonate with the VOR names. I was looking for like just wherever there is BS over there to find which would match. And it's not necessary that they would always match. Like I found a very interesting name, like in Mumbai FIR, Vadodara. Like it could have been like VVD something, but it's very unique. It is Quebec Zulu. So it is like quite observational kind of thing. Like I can it's not easy to remember everything.
Thanks for answering.
What else, students? Quick. I'll quickly show you the assessment and then we are done. Feel free to ask and post your questions. Pankaj, जितनी clarity चाहिए उतनी लेनी है. ठीक है? अभी नहीं तो continue it conversations में. But you keep it parked, you keep the question posted. Students, don't feel shy to ask questions. And we don't panic about these things. You can look at my reaction and see if sir is not panicking, it means it is something easy. Maybe individually I'm missing something. It's only a matter of time till I figure it out. That's it. But we have to be, what do we say? Able to look where we are missing something. That is one approach that we need to have. If this were everyone, if we think we are not missing anything and what we think is correct, then we might not be able to fill in the gaps that we have, which are our areas of improvement. Annie, please ask.
Sir, in my Chennai attempt, I told you my paper was from Kolkata to Bangkok. So in this case, in my paper, the Bangkok was mentioned in the paper. So in case if the word Bangkok is not mentioned, how would I know that it is Bangkok or something? If such situation comes, then what to do?
See, firstly, there are going to be chances, okay? There are going to be chances that you will not 80 to 90% of the times you will not get any call for your destination, which is international. Or if your departure is international, then also the same thing. It is just to show you that you're traveling and you're traveling from abroad overseas and your first call will be related to some route that is entering from outside the country on the respective chart. So even if you don't know any international radio call sign or a location indicator, it's not going to impact your performance because if you carefully look at the questions, then your questions will be related to what is there within the scope of your charts. And your scopes will have leading routes coming into the country, but they will not have any ACC as showed there. So there's no point in calling Bangkok Control, Bangkok Tower, whatever ATC call signs. So all you need to know in this case, you will not be able to find Bangkok on the chart because it doesn't exist on the chart. So the best way is to look at the route, spot the route, connect the route in both areas. One will be your destination or departure based upon how the departure destination is arranged with international location indicator. If it is destination, then all your calls are going to be departure till the time you exit the country boundaries. And if it is arrival to India, then your entry points will be somewhere on the oceanic areas or up near Bhutan, China, or Pakistan. That's it. So even if you don't know what the international call sign is, there won't be any ground calls or air calls for that. So irrespective, you might still not know after the paper, but you would have still given a correct paper. If you check the route, check what the Indian location indicator is and connect and relate the first question or the other subsequent questions with respect to where they are looking on the chart. So V and A, E, I, O, those are the first letter V and second letter being anywhere between A, E, I, O. Those are the only location indicators and only airports you'll be able to locate on these charts. Anything else you will not be able to locate on the chart and you will not be taking call also. If it happens, it might happen maybe once in a lifetime. So we will always keep an open mind for that possibility. But there's no problem there. Are you understanding, students? There's no problem
Got
there.
it, sir.
Hmm. So these are just logical awareness things, basically. We get as students, we are always scared. So our fear is what is being taken advantage of when it comes to exams being difficult, nothing else. Trust me, don't be afraid. Focus on instructions and do everything that you're instructed to do as a base level prep. It's enough. Anything extra you do afterwards on your own intelligence basis is just going to be icing on the cake. Good questions. We have a list of some airports here though, and I would love to add and replace the document. So please, everyone, give me a list of 3 to 4 major city international airports as and when. And I'll add what you give me, and somewhere down the line in future, you'll get credits in the printing of the book also. मैं खुद भी ढूंढ सकता हूँ ऑनलाइन क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है बट आप लोग करो मजा आएगा आप लोगों को. So two things, allow for trust for definitions and 2 to 3 international location indicators with the name also. All right. Anything else? Okay, Annie, your feedback. Prerit, good job. Good job, Prerit. Nice observation. And very good. Aditya, good. ओम बोल रहे हैं गो अराउंड इज GA. उसैद भी बोल रहे हैं गो अराउंड इज GA. Students, if you could help me with reference, screenshot from where you're finding it, that would be nice. Okay. Okay, Trisha. Okay. Karthik, आप करोगे lecture 14 के बाद part 2. Students who have not done part 2, don't worry about the part 1 mock. Part 2 mock, which was in the first half of the session, okay? आप लोग टेंशन मत लो, आप लोग बस देखो. जब आप पढ़ोगे आपको सब अपने आप समझ में आएगा. I have listed all the questions. I have a list of those questions. Anybody would want, I'll share it with you all. Don't worry. Om had correction. Om had Frankfurt as departure in Mumbai attempt. Very good. अच्छा गया था आपका part 1 तो. I'm proud of you. Oof. All right. No more questions. Okay. ओके. शबरीश, GA गो अराउंड स्काइब्रेरी स्क्रीनशॉट भेजना. अगर GA गो अराउंड है तो हमारी एब्रिविएशन बुकलेट में GA क्या है? दैट इज अ कंफ्यूजन, नथिंग एल्स. All right. Everyone ready for assessment? I hope everyone is here. Ujjwal, anything else? Arshi, are you there? Arshi is not there. Okay, I'm just gonna check. Okay. So, what do you think, Ujjwal? Clear part 1, part 2 or not? Students, your references and screenshots you share on WhatsApp.
So I think part 1 clear. Part 2, I don't think so. I was really disturbed that way. I don't think so.
I understand and I would be a friend to you, but then it's all an excuse.
Yeah, I know that. Mm.
Everyone who's sharing screenshots on Zoom chat, share it on our personal chat, okay? All right, quick, quick, quick. Where is Arushi? Okay. You all know when I was talking about 8400 being the latest edition, I, in my mind, said that anybody, if has an update on updated, then let me know. And I think Suchita got it and she directly updated, even without me having to say it. I like such things when such connects happen. Amazing. That is very nice. Like I'm always, whenever I state something, I'm always keeping an open mind that it could be differently also. It keeps me really safe with my knowledge. And it doesn't make me sound like I'm doing a mistake by giving something wrong where something wrong should not be given. That is nice. Okay. Okay, let's get started. It's quick. Overall, just waiting for one student. London Heathrow is EGLL. Meet is giving. Good. Prakhar, please share the screenshot if you have not shared. Yeah, you have. Okay. Students, we have a minute. Anything else you want to ask, discuss? 4 students are missing. Okay, superb. Okay, so we have found the 2016 version of the abbreviations booklet, and I'll be replacing it with the one that we have. So check after a few hours your folder that is already shared with your students. All right. Okay, so everyone is back. Good. I think couple students are missing, but it's fine. I hope everyone can hear me well. Okay. So with respect to part 1, okay, with respect to part 1, there are a lot of goods that Ujjwal has done. It seemed like his rate of speech was a little slow with respect to the time that we could have got. But I don't mind, even at this stage, the speed as much as I would mind accuracy or changes in accuracy. So this is good. Question number 1, readability correction, pre-flight checks. First, we understand the flight plan. It's Mumbai to Bhubaneswar and its flight rules, Yankee. Okay, students, I hope you all have a copy of question paper because I'm not sharing that on screen. Okay. What does it mean? Carefully look at the route. Okay, I'll just show you once. Carefully look at the route.
Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah. Carefully look at the route. I've shared the, what do we say, question paper. Look at the flight rules. Yankee and route is starting with flight level 350, Golf 450, November Papa. Flight level 310, November 895, Bravo Sierra. A route will not generally have location indicators if it has navigation aids. Okay. This is here to confuse, but this is here to also give you a hint. Flight rule Yankee means IFR first and then VFR. It means till November Papa, that is Nagpur, you fly IFR at flight level 350. Once you reach Nagpur, you request descent for flight level 130 and say the words, cancelling my IFR for VFR, request descent to flight level 130. And then you give estimates. And from November Papa, you fly VFR flight level 130 via November 8985 till this particular VOR. This VOR is your destination, which is Bhubaneswar. My cruising altitude is same as given in the route. Departure time is morning, quarter to 10, Airbus 321, wake turbulence heavy. I fly 921, Mumbai to Bhubaneswar. Special handling, VVIP on board, and cell call code is also given to me. So when I'm aware, I also check my alternate aerodrome just in case something goes wrong. When I'm giving an FI report, maybe Mumbai radio or Kolkata radio will tell me Bhubaneswar is closed, report intention. So there you will have to remember that. Carry out pre-flight checks. Pre-flight checks, first on VHF, then on HF. When you do on HF, it's a pre-flight cell call check. It was correctly done. ATC was trying to trick the student by saying, say again, all. Couldn't hear anything. Time taken to start was only 1 minute and 35 seconds. So that was a very good tracking and reading the flight plan usual. Very fast, I would say. Here, when you're said, say again, all, you repeat the same call. Okay. Good job, you said read back. Good job in saying Wilco. You didn't have to say Wilco because you are going to say I say again. The instruction was say again all, so you had to say the whole call. Remember, so you could have started read you one, I say again, Mumbai ground, I fly 9821, stand 2. That would have been the most accurate reply, but still it's not bad. Here I could see you were thinking. There was dead air, so I assume you were thinking there. Pre-flight radio check 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. How do you read? One thing I heard you say wrongly. I want to just check if you have written that or it was just me. Okay, fine. It was just the readability scale. Your logs are pretty neat, by the way. Very nice. Readify, how do you read? Readify, strengthify, by the script, by the training. Very good. Roger, nothing said about go to next question. Mumbai radio, stand to secondary, pre-flight cell call, check cell call, Alpha Charlie Foxtrot Hotel. Correct call, read back given. Okay, changing to primary standby. Good call. Overall, good call. Out of 10, you easily get 8 on this. Question number 1, Bravo, is request startup. Startup on priority, VVIP on board. Nothing much. Information, Bravo, because Mumbai has datas on the chart. Nothing much here. And the way we say the flight rules. Here you didn't say the flight rules correctly, although it's an improvement from your practice mock. Still, it was not correct. Mumbai ground, W1, W2, where you are. IFR Mumbai to VOR. Correction. IFR Mumbai to VOR November Papa, flight level 350. You can mention route here for more clarity. Thereafter, don't say this. Thereafter, VFR till Bhubaneswar, flight level 130. You didn't mention VFR in your call anywhere. So that was missing. Lack of clarity. Thereafter, November to Bhubaneswar is like repetitive information. You have already said November tak aap wahan wo flight level pe jaoge. You already said till November you'll go there. Thereafter means after that will descend or flight level 130 VFR Bhubaneswar. Keywords. So that was missing. November to correction. Nagpur to Bhubaneswar you didn't have to say. Thereafter VFR till Bhubaneswar flight level 130. This is the accurate way of doing it. A321 heavy passenger check clear secure priority VVIP on board. Not approved. You said report reason. You cannot ask ATC to say report. You have to use the word and only one word, which is request. This was very bad. If examiner is rude, they will cut a lot of marks there unnecessarily. In my mind, as an examiner, I was like, तुम हमसे report मांगोगे ऐसा हो जाता. This is India, right? As a joke. You cannot say report like this when you're asking something from ATC. You always have to say request. Students, if you like the jokes, please give reactions, okay? Like smiley reactions, you can always give. Sad reactions, you can always give. I cannot work without acknowledgement, students. I'm not a robot, right? So I told him flight level 350 unavailable. Here, ideally what you should have done, flight level 350 unavailable. Request flight level 3980. I fly 9821. That's it. That's it. You didn't have to say the whole call again. It's a consecutive call. Good effort, but it's too much. And you repeated the same mistake again. So the mistake got repeated twice. You could have saved it by simply saying, give me my 3980. But I was very happy to see you maintained the RVSM distances, separation, and you did the right intent. Very nice. But you didn't have to say all that. You could have said flight level 350 unavailable, request flight level 3980, VVIP on board, Victor Tango, correction. VVIP on board, I fly 921. That's it. You could just mention the special handling case there if you want to. You're not going to get marks deducted, but because the mistake got repeated, again, the marks can get deducted. And you could have saved some time. So efficiently, examiner will know somewhere, student is doing great, student is not doing perfect, is what they will think there. Nothing else, nothing bad there. Okay. So here also, overall good, just how you said the flight plan with respect to route. So you get 8 plus 7 is 15 out of 20 on the first question, which is just 75%. Your first question really matters a lot, students. It gives you confidence as if you have fixed deposit in your account. And if you make mistake in the first questions, then the pressure of that mistake and continuing affects us more and our performance more. So even if you just do first three questions in 25 minutes, make sure the first three questions are 55 and above out of 60. And you'll see that they are putting you to part two. Because passing is 50 and your accuracy is above 90. So that's what matters. Good job, good thinking, good rally between conversations. I really like that. Question number 2A, obtain ATC clearance and comply. I don't know why you always assume that you are here. Last time also you assumed you are here. An examiner will be like sometimes in the doubt, why are you here? When did you come here? I didn't give you taxi and all. When no information of position is given to you and when you have to take ATC clearance, imagine you're on the stand itself, especially when you have not started taxi. So after startup ATC clearance, you could have simply said stand 2. Your marks are not going to get cut here. It's okay. Benefit of doubt. You could be anywhere. You are going to call. Fine. Runway, holding short runway 27. You don't have to say taxiway Charlie. Holding short runway 27 is still fine. Good clarity though. Request ATC clearance. For ATC clearance, if you don't even say position, it's fine. Mumbai Tower, I fly 921, request ATC clearance. That is also enough just for ATC clearance. It's one of those calls which does not require where you are because ATC clearance can be taken anytime from the time of startup till the time you are on the runway before taking takeoff clearance. It can be given to you anytime. You depends on you when you take it from ATC, when you are ready to take it from ATC. So fine, but here I'll show you what mistake happened. ATC emphasized that your departure is from runway 23. You did something different, ATC might do something different. You are thinking ATC is giving you wrong readback. ATC won't make mistake unnecessarily. So you said negative, I say again on taxiway Charlie, runway 27. I never said you are not there. You might be at runway 27 holding point. From there, you'll have to taxi from the runway or somewhere and align with runway 23 and only then take off. You have to respect the decisions instead of thinking what you know is right. So you can confirm. Confirm departure aerodrome runway 23 like this if you are doubtful. So here situational awareness was missing because an instruction was given to you. This is precisely what the examiner was trying to check. Will you get it or not? But you like negative, no, I am to here, request ATC clearance. I'm like, it's okay. But the language is fine, words are fine, readback is fine, no dead air, no mistakes, no fumbling. So you don't have unnecessary deduction in marks. So this is why your performance is much better because you have avoided those mistakes majorly. But after departure from runway 23, it was clearly given. If you're confused, you can say confirm departure runway 23 or departure runway 27, aircraft holding position, holding short runway 27. You can get clarification like this also.
Understood, sir.
Okay, overall, good job. Not bad. Question number 2, Bravo, on takeoff leg. Good thinking. On takeoff leg, runway heading, fine, good point. Even if you would not have said runway heading, takeoff leg has runway heading. So you don't have to say runway heading. It becomes repetitive again. On takeoff leg, runway 27, it was given to you as runway 23. So the mistake continues again because we were not aware about it. A takeoff leg will have runway heading, students. You don't have to mention double things in the call. So on takeoff leg, runway 27, passing flight level 20 for 40, clearance given to you was still flight level 50. You could have stuck to that in mind. And transition altitude in India on an average is 3,500 feet. So only above you will have flight level 40. Below you will have 2,000 feet. You cannot use that in flight level. Flight level 20 दुनिया में शायद कहीं नहीं होगा. Because India has the lowest, one of the lowest of transition altitudes. And flight level we use above the transition altitude. So वहाँ पे भी examiner would know that, oh, made a slight mistake. But here, hypothetical values are fine in the exams. So it's okay, not a lot of marks will be deducted. But it's better to frame the call in mind to avoid any mistakes before giving the call. This is where it can happen. Come in picture. See a flock of birds turning left by 15 degrees to avoid. Don't say collision. You cannot just use the word collision like that. Collision, when you say it, seems like there's an aircraft. No, to avoid
So,
birds. That's it.
so
That's it.
I actually have mentioned in my logs bird collision.
Collision is not the correct word. Avoid it.
Okay.
Okay. Simply say 15 degrees to avoid birds. तुमने कुछ भी लिखा हो, एग्जामिनर जिन्हें सुना वो वही मार्क्स मिलने वाले हैं आपको. क्या कर सकता है? But yeah, you said collision. You don't say collision there. Don't say collision. Just say 15 degrees to avoid birds. I know you said to avoid collision with birds. Don't use collision. Don't use the word collision. But it was a good call. Just the flight level thing was missing and the collision word was there, confusing. Runway was wrongly said, but benefit of doubt, you didn't realize you had to go through runway 2, 3. This is logical reasoning, students. But still, 6 plus 7, 13. Okay. Not bad. Again, 70% is there, 65%. Question number 3. Here I'm being a little harsh. Examiner could give you one more mark extra on question number 2. Bravo. Here it was enable RVSM due equipment. You did say flight level 3980. Assuming you had been approved for that, which was good thinking, good presence of mind. W1, W2, where you are, flight level, route, radial, DME. Very happy to see you using those. In your practice mock, you were not using that. Inbound VOR, aircraft, enable RVSM due equipment. You could have given me your estimates and your ETA. That would have been great if you could have. But request descent to flight level 270 was a good idea because anyway, on November, Papa, you would have requested for flight level 130. So good you didn't ask for outside of 410. That was good presence of mind again. Good thinking with 270, not a problem. Just mention estimates. Any call in air, students, 5 elements. Flight level, route, radial, DME, and estimates. And whenever you're mentioning time, don't say present time. It's instructed in the question paper. You write the time at the start of the call before you take the call. Like in the next call, you said present time. Don't use the word present time. If you're mentioning time, just mention the 4-digit time then. वो भी कर सकते हैं हम लोग या फिर क्वेश्चन नंबर के पास लिख दो ना वहां पे आप लोग क्वेश्चन में इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया है for messages to be transmitted at a specific time, write the specific time ahead of the question number. Instruction number 3. Check students, you all have question papers. So here we told you unavailable, and then because it's a serious thing, you need to really get out from the RVSM airspace. We gave you instruction to go to 250 within 50 DME inbound or more. I wanted to see if he understands, and he really understood that. He said 60 DME. That was nice. Somebody would have thought, sir, मैं कम हो रहा हूँ तो more कैसे करूँगा? But your understanding was very good there. Kindly expedite flight level 270 unable to descend to flight level 250. Okay, unavailable. Will descend to flight level 250. Good read back. Good read back. There was a little dead air, but not major. Expediting Wilco. Instead of Wilco, you could say will report reaching also. Wilco is still fine. I fly 9021. Acknowledgement given. Here you had a chance to use that phraseology of level change. Nagpur control. I fly 9021. Leaving flight level 3980 for flight level 270. Will report reaching. Next could be passing flight level 300 for flight level 270. Roger. And then flight level 270, 60 DME inbound, November, Papa, estimates ETA, Roger. And you can, till the time you are in the RVSM airspace, you can say enable RVSM due equipment in each call. Once you're out of the RVSM airspace, it's okay even if you don't say that. Okay. So that was missing there. And somebody who wants to finish the paper faster by maintaining accuracy, you could do the same thing in this call. Flight level 270 unavailable, read back. Leaving flight level 390 for flight level 250, 50 DME inbound, November Papa or less. Expediting will report reaching I fly 921. Because it's an immediate process, you can give readback and then start leaving your flight level for that flight level and say all the things in the same call. समझ गए? Possible होता, time बच जाता हमारा वहां पे और कुछ नहीं. But still, this way and that way both are fine, not a problem. That way is what generally will be happening more. Overall, good job on question number 3. Easy. You stuck to the basics and everything. Easily at a 15 on 20. Question number 4. Good job on knowing what is report and what is report structure. Don't say the word present time. You can simply mention 1050. Delay in reaching is wrong. 10 minutes is wrong. Just give revised estimates and revised ETA. That's it. Rest everything is just like an FIR report. The keywords would be FIR report, so and so time, revised estimates, revised ETA, and in the end you can mention experiencing a delay of 10 minutes. Delay in reaching 10 minutes didn't make really much sense. I could not really understand what you're trying to say, although I knew what you're trying to say, but from an ATC perspective, it didn't make sense. Yeah, you're saying something.
Actually, I thought of a point, but I don't know why I missed it. I wanted to say delay due headwinds. I wanted to say something like that.
स्टूडेंट्स
Some
क्वेश्चन
some
पेपर्स
reason.
मत क्वेश्चन पेपर्स को देखना ही देखो ही मत आप लोग. पहली चीज तो है, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दोज लीक पेपर्स को देखो क्यों नहीं और इंस्ट्रक्शंस फॉलो करोगे फिर भी पास हो जाओगे आप लोग. वो आपको रीजन नहीं पूछ रहे. रीजन पूछते तो यू कुड हैव मेड अप रीजंस बिकॉज अनेबल आरवीएसएम ड्यू इक्विपमेंट यू कुड हैव सेड, और कुछ नहीं तो या हेडविंड बोल देते चल जाता. दैट इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लम. द प्रॉब्लम इज हाउ यू आर रिपोर्टिंग डिले. Give revised estimates, revised ETA. Use the word revised. And if you want to mention the time of delay, you can say experiencing 10 minute delay. That's it. So here the word revised was missing. Revised estimates, ETA is missing. So although you have come to give me good position report elements, but only up to the first 4 points, estimates are not that clear. So I think that's your last area of improvement left there. To get fluency on mixed flight rules and basically to give proper estimates and just ensure to how to speak time. That's it. I think nothing else is a big problem here for you. And question number 5 was done correctly. So by the time you reach question number 5, you only had 1 minute 18 seconds left. 1, 2, 3 were correct. Here, if examiner was expecting definition, then he might not give you marks. If not, then he might give you marks. For Alarfa, so here you're getting 16 out of 20. Assuming we don't need definition, if we need definition, then 14. We'll only give you half. And FI report was correct. Delay was announced, but not using proper phraseology is what I would say. Rest, everything is fine. Estimates were missing, but it was fine. Not a big problem. So that's our score. Okay. Anybody has anything to ask, share, raise your hands, or simply go on unmute and speak.
$73 near.
हाँ, तुम्हारा काम करो, मेरा मत करो.
नहीं मतलब
No, this is for
last
all
time.
students. You don't be the examiner. I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course. I knew somebody would guess. How much is it? It's 71.
Yeah, considering that last question 1471, 1673.
Yeah. Actually, on 96. Yeah. We have 73.905%. It's good. Good enough. Good job. Good job. Work on your mistakes. Students, just look here what I'm doing now. If say again all, I would have said everything. Okay. Then I would have got +2. So 71 + 2. Here, if my comfortability with flight rule change could have been spoken correctly, instead of report, if I would have said request, then at least 2 + 2, 4 points I would have added. ADC clearance was not a bad call. Only logical reasoning awareness was not there. Not much can be done here with respect to how it has happened, but in case we would have simply gotten a read back instead of this, which is our job to do when we get ATC clearance. Just simply give a read back there. Don't worry about what's happening. You thought of something good there, thinking कि मेरे को wrong transmission मिल रहा है ATC का, but not necessarily it will happen in all cases. So that's
Yeah.
what we are learning here. So at least you would have simply given a read back, you would have gotten +2 there. Annie, hold on to the thought. And then question number 2, bravo. +3 easily. Not much difference. Just passing some 1,000 feet for the given flight level. Only that particular thing, if you develop fluency, I think easily you'll get +3 there and avoid collision word when it comes to birds. You could, I thought you will say avoiding a bird hit or something. So +3 and +2. All right. Question number 3. Enable RVSM due equipment. Yeah, I mean, not many marks are gone. It was a good read back. Just leaving this flight level for that flight level was missing, which really will make your performance outshine students. And mentioning estimates. A few estimates at least. Up to the next major point would also have worked. I would have given you easily 4 extra there. So you see, every mistake somewhere or the other is costing us 2 marks, depending upon these being not major mistakes nor minor mistakes like that. And question number 4, of course, only estimates and the word revised were missing properly. Easily would have gotten 3 or +1, 4 there. So estimates were missing and the word revised, ETA and revised estimates, both were missing. I didn't get proper estimates and I didn't get the word correctly. And then last, if you would have finished the paper and we would have given the definition, +6 easily. Annie, please tell me what's on your mind.
So in question number 1, where the pre-flight circle check was given, the frequency should have been mentioned, right, for a secondary check. It's not yet mentioned, so is there a chance of getting a marks cut here?
See, if frequency is not given to you in your pre-flight radio check on VHF, and if it is not mentioned on the flight plan, then either you can use hypothetical frequency or you can just say secondary and not use frequency. It's fine. But if they give you frequency, or if it's mentioned there, or if it's mentioned on the chart, sometimes charts will also have in one corner primary and secondary written. So you look on 3 areas. If you have frequencies mentioned, great. If you don't have, even if you mention hypothetical, it's fine. If you don't have, and if you don't mention the frequency, but just mention the word secondary, it's fine.
Okay, sir.
So look at this. If you would have just fixed these mistakes, this would have been your score. This is how it works, students. Good job. Any questions? We don't mention present position, we directly mention our position. Okay, Karthik? All right. With respect to your part 2 Viva, questions were very nice, not bad, well said. Item 11 is not there in the flight plan. That's why you could not figure it out. Just have some confidence in how much you know. So, item 11 is not a part of ICAO flight plan. If it is, then verify. If it is, students, keep an open mind. But if you think you don't know, it's fine. But now please remember all item numbers of the flight plan. Check these things. Just 10-minute thing. The TRESFA definition verbatim. ITO explanation was fine, could be better. Rule is 63 students. How many times do I say this to everyone? Ujjwal, last time भी आपको बोला था मैंने. Rule 63 of Aircraft Rules 1937. Modulation, types, descent explanation, polarization, descent. You said we use vertical more. That didn't really make sense. You could have related with the antenna. Attenuation, fine. Radio waves, how do they propagate? Fine. Not bad, not perfect verbatim, but you were able to explain. Modulation, your guess was good. I was very happy to see that. Characteristics of FM, you could say anything that you know. We now know where to go, page number 26. Frequency band used in radio navigation. You really said that there are a variety of navigation systems. That was a very good way to say. Principle of VOR. VOR is direction finding through phase comparison of two. Use the word direction finding or directional reference through phase comparison. Okay. Directional reference through radials through phase comparison is what you could say. ADF, relative bearing through switch cardioid. Those are the keywords there. Airborne equipment is there in the sheet. Please study RMI, RBI. RBI is in ADF. RMI is in VOR. Then there is HSI, CDI. Whatever mentioned, it's there from the notes only. These questions are there from the notes only, students. Why RT personal question could do a little bit work, but fine, good effort. Range was very well said. Mode A, Mode C, not bad. Please verify if Mode A has altitude or only identity. Students. SCOC codes, please memorize 7500, 7600, 7700, 200, 0000. No SCOC codes are assigned. Malfunction, RCF, emergency, and unlawful interference, or vice versa. Verify and get back to me on this, students. It is also there on our notes. Overall, good job on part 2. You think you've not done well, but I think you have done tremendously well with respect to what I've seen so far. ICAO flight plan is an easy thing to master. Please don't take it for granted. Definitions, distress for alert 5 is fine. Rule 63, don't forget. Annex 10 RT was not properly explained. The whole annex is for RT. It's not just one volume. So say all volumes. Explain all volumes. Okay. That's it. Not bad. Good job overall. Anybody has anything to say, ask, or discuss, please let me know, students. Otherwise, we are going to wrap up the session. Om is saying, sir, mode A is only for identification. That's true. It will only give you call sign. Bearing, we find out. They don't give us our bearing. Mode Sierra, the most advanced version, is going to give me everything. It also shows me track, my speed, my flight level, and everything. Little clarity on that. Rest, I think you gave me a Viva for 18 minutes and you have answered about 20, 25 questions. That is a good attempt. Very good. I being an examiner there, I think you have good chance of clearing. I was a decent examiner, but in the end, I said something that would make you feel bad, and I did it on purpose to see if that impacts your next round. And I didn't see that effect happening, so that was a good job. When I said तुम्हें यही नहीं पता तुम RT के लिए आए हो तुम्हें RCF नहीं पता RT के लिए आए हो, they will say a lot of such things on and off to some or the other person. We should not be affected by it. We should be like, this is my moment. कुछ भी करके I have to convince them with respect to my performance. So we try. If they say something, आपको RCF नहीं पता आप RT करने आए हो, sir, I do know it. Trust me, I'm just unable to recall because I'm very tired, exhausted, and everything. But yeah, you're right. But I do know Don't worry about it. दिल भाई नहीं पता तो क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हो? Sir, बस हो गया मेरा. That's all you can say in the end, maturely. But I'm sorry for it, sir. प्यार से, अच्छे से. Be honest. Don't be scared there. Okay, students, and then you see the benefit that you get of following the instructions. Okay, students, anything you have individually, please let me know. 7500 is unlawful interference. Very good. 770 is emergency. Very good. Okay, students, anything else? Chalo. All the best. Do well and stand by for further updates. As and when sessions are scheduled, I'll tell you all, and anybody who's waiting for their mock, having done lecture 14, part 1, please let me know so that I can keep it on priority. Okay, students? Whoever feels like giving a feedback, good and bad, please drop a message over WhatsApp. Any last words, Ujjwal, for the moment?
Negative, sir. So, yeah, just have to study more, I guess.
This much more.
Yeah.
बाहर चढ़ लिया आपने, लास्ट के कुछ मीटर्स चढ़ने हैं, सो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील. जितना आपने करा है ना, बहुत अच्छा करा है. कीप इट अप.
Thank you, sir.
There's and nothing that makes me feel angry on your performance, although I can see mistakes. This is another way for you to know that you are on the right track. अब मैं थोड़ा गुस्सा हो जाता तो समझ लो आप बहुत बड़ी सिली मिस्टेक कर रहे हो. आपने मुझे अश्योर किया है बट आपने वो चीज़ की नहीं है, मतलब आप भी गलत कर रहे हो और मुझे विश्वास भी दिला रहे हो कि आप सही कर रहे हो. सो दैट वे आपका भला नहीं होना है. बट दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू हैव नॉट डन एट ऑल. So be proud of yourself. I'm very glad that so many students could see you perform because it is very good. So you're setting a good benchmark for everyone. Okay, so be proud of this, but don't go over the top.
Yeah.
Chalo. All the best, students. I'll be the last to leave. Please, you all are free to leave. Hope to see you all next time.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome.
So, I wanted to know like how we will plan because after 5 days I will be going back to college.
Yeah, we will plan. You just study on these things, report, and I'll keep updating you whenever there are sessions. You join, learn, discuss doubts. Simple. You feel the need for another practice session, let me know. We'll arrange. Simple.
Yeah, I guess before the Delhi attempt because whenever the dates will be out, whenever my roll number will be so scheduled, then before 2-3 days only I will come back to home because I anyway have to go from here only, like not from college.
Try not to wait for that long in case you feel like practicing. But now you are free to be on your own, is what I'm saying. So whatever you feel like, you just share and we'll do. I don't feel like even doing, I don't feel the need to do another Viva for you or another mock for you. So from my side, you're free to go and give the exam. Just work on these things, is what I'm trying to say. But you can always tell me whatever you feel like. We'll discuss and we'll go about like that. Share your mind, share your thoughts, share your feelings. Maybe that will make me feel to do something more or less. So we'll do that. I think आप बहुत अच्छे से ready हो. बस work on these things. That's it. I think you're good to go. Good to go. But continue revision. Don't
Yeah.
let the gap happen. So that is a part of our strategy. Rest. Join as and when you can join live sessions, but not at the cost of what's going on behind.
Yeah.
वो मत करो आप. चाहिए तो हम सुबह अर्ली मॉर्निंग कर लेंगे, है ना. दोबारा मत करो. मैं नहीं चाहता कोई अच्छी चीज मिस हो जाए. 2 साल और निकालना है. समझ रहे हो ना?
Yes.
So you have the liberty. Please make good use of it. You are a good student. You deserve it.
Yes.
ठीक है?
Yeah. हाँ sir.
And it's not easy to speak in front of so many people. Great job. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
चलो.
Sir,
Yes, Annie?
sir, you wanted to talk to me for so long and we didn't still connected.
Yeah, we'll schedule it. We'll schedule it over text.
When, sir?
Okay? Don't worry. I'll text you about it.
All right.
Hmm.
And
So
sir, plan.
just to discuss our paper, so probably
Mhm.
we'll directly meet on a scheduled mock session for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's when we'll talk. You were saying something?
And when
Yeah.
and when will it happen? Like exactly around approximately time.
You schedule that with me over chat. Everything scheduling we do on chat.
All right, sir.
So let's take this conversation on chat in real time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome.
Bye.
Anand.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Trisha, Prerit, anything on your mind? Doubts, questions?
So you told me you'll take my Viva today.
Trisha, on chat. Let's come on chat. Class chat, personal chat. Yeah, Zoom, WhatsApp chat.
Bye.
Prerit, sorry, Trisha.
Bye, sir.
Okay, bye. ओके प्रेरित आप मुझे मैसेज करो कब दे रहे हो मॉक ऑन प्रायोरिटी खत्म करते हैं चीज को
Affirm,
है
sir.
ना और प्लीज रिप्लाई करो मैसेजेस के यार
Yes, sir.
डोंट वरी
I'll
अबाउट
do
व्हाट यू
it, sir.
सेड इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट
Yes.
डोंट वरी ओके जस्ट बी
Yeah,
द
sir.
वे यू आर
I'm
डोंट
not
वरी
worrying about my past. I'm just, what I've done is done, sir. I'm just learning from my past and moving on, sir.
बट डोंट ब्रेक कम्युनिकेशन
Yes, sir.
डोंट इग्नोर एंड डोंट नॉट रिप्लाई है ना
Affirm, sir. Affirm, sir.
चलो थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग यू मेड माय डे
Thank you, sir.